Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All-In channel, host Sega Forever here. Doing another All-In Rant video for you guys today. We're going to talk about something that I've been noticing online. Again, with all the stuff that's going on with Microsoft and their Xbox, I'm pretty sure you guys are in the same boat that I am when it comes to all the information that's being put out there. Like I said in my previous video, 90% of it is pure speculation. Like anything else that deals with Microsoft, a lot of the stuff that's put out there is limited to the people that are in the know, and the majority of the people, whether it's in the gaming media, um, gaming influencers, YouTube influencers, people who have insiders, a lot of the times, all the stuff that they say is false, not true, and they never follow through. Right? They never correct themselves. They never issue an apology. They don't make a statement about it. Some of these dudes are starting to kind of go around the edges a little bit, right? When it comes to sharing this information. And look, guys, I'm about as free speech as it gets when it comes to. Hold on, guys. Apologize for the noise. It's funny because I set this thing up. It was perfectly quiet, and as soon as I was gonna hit the play button, man, my neighbors started hammering and drilling. I don't know what to do, and they're constantly doing that, dude. I live in an area where we don't have an association. We used to have an association, but that kind of fell through because nobody follows the rules here where I live. And that's fine. That's fine, dude. As long as everybody's on the same page. But um, people do some stuff sometimes that's irritating and noisy. Um, I was in the military, man, and my experience with boot camp changed everything for me when it came to noise and things that I can tune out and not tune out, right? And after being in boot camp with 40 other people and having this, eat, sleep, and shower with these dudes, you get numb to a lot of stuff. So it doesn't bother me. The funny thing for me though is that a lot of there's my neighbors will get offended by certain things, even though they do stuff that offends other people. So that's neither here nor there. But I do apologize for the background noise. There's nothing I can do about it. Hey, what's up, Faded? Faded says, "What's up, Sega? Now you wonder why Discord, Twitch, and Reddit getting called to Congress. Lies are getting rampant. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And if you guys know me on my channel, dude, like I say, I'm a proponent of free speech. I don't care that you share your opinion on kind of stuff, but you got to make it your opinion, right? What I can't stand is when people take opinion and they make it fact. Now you can share, like you can, like we do, like what we do on this channel. There we extrapolate information and we talk about it and discuss it, right? But there has to be the caveat of this is not gospel, right? And if you guys are Xbox and you guys bleed green like everybody else that comes to this, watch my videos and comes to my channel, right? Like Faded, we all know, dude, that no Microsoft doesn't tell anybody anything. So a lot of the information that's put out from people is just people trying to analyze stuff, right? And I do that too, you know. I do that too. But at some point, dude, you have to look at what people are sharing and what their motivation is. And for a lot of these guys, and that's why we're going to talk about value, because I found it, I was totally blown away by the fact that people don't understand what value means when I'm discussing these topics with people in chat, right? Like I'm on somebody's video, right? Because you can't escape it, guys. And I'm jacked in 24/7 for various reasons. If you guys know, again, you guys know how my channel is, dude. I'm out there all the time. Right. The thing that's getting me is that when it comes to Xbox, people usually stay in the lane of gaming, but everybody's talking about this, right? From business to influencers to the news, the media, it's all out there, right? And then people feel the need to comment. And you can tell where people is actually at when it comes to their gaming by what they say in their comments. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Fada says, if that was posted on X, it would have gotten community limited. True, true. But you know what, Faded? A lot of this stuff is it's just like they just open the funnel, dude, or just turn on the pipe, boom, and letting that information full blast. So it is kind of hard to keep up with, even on X, right? But the great thing about X is a lot of people are on there and people are pushing back on it, which they need to do, because at the end of the day, guys, this affects you um, in different ways. Like for me, it's all about being a consumer as well as a fan. It's not just about being a fan or supporting Xbox, right? And then I've told you guys this story 100 times. The reason why I chose Xbox in the new in the current generation that we're in right now, there's specific reasons why I chose to go Xbox only. right? And it's more than just a brand. It's more than just being a corporate slave, like these guys like they call us, man. It's financial, right? It's the gaming experience, dude. It's the games that they have. It's the ecosystem. It's the all in one box that we really never got, right? It's all of that rolled into one. Right? I made a conscious choice, and that's why I don't have a problem with the majority of the stuff that Xbox does. And then when I do have a problem, I'll speak on it specifically. Again, movies and TV. I think that was a big mistake. Also, putting our games on the other consoles or making it putting it everywhere. I think that's a big mistake as well. But that's Microsoft doing what Microsoft will do, and they have their reasons as well, right? I don't say that I agree with it, but that's this is their product, dude. This is their brand. And the only thing I can do as a fan and as a consumer is make conscious choices. And that's what I do, man. That's why a lot of people, right, when you're in these comment sections on these videos, man, these people don't understand. When you look at their comments, it makes no sense. And that's something that, I want to ultra focus on today. And it's not going to be a long video, guys. This isn't a podcast, technically. But if you guys are in the chat and you guys want to make comments, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being here, Faded. And feel free to write whatever you guys want in the comment section. Yeah. But for me on this channel, man, knowing what I like to do when it comes to gaming saves me a lot of heartache. This is why I can be out there online doing stuff. Sure, I get frustrated with people when they're lying, which a lot of people are, right? It's also frustrated when people are saying information that's not true, especially when they have a bias and they don't acknowledge that bias. There's a lot of influencers doing that right now, right? They should come out there like I do on my channel and say I'm a pro Xbox channel, right? I support Xbox, right? And the reason why I do that too is not just for the benefit of you, the listener, but for the benefit of me, because when I do have problems with them, I can honestly say why. And a lot of that's just my personal opinion. Just because I don't like the movies and TV, there's a bunch of people out there that don't participate in that part of the ecosystem when it comes to Xbox, and I totally get it, dude. I'm not trying to impose my opinion on you guys, dude. I just liked it, and that's how I consume my entertainment, and I was using Xbox to do it. So naturally, when they decided to get rid of the store selling the content, dude, I wasn't happy about it. But there's people that don't worry about that stuff at all, right? There's some people that just focus on achievements. There's people that just like to collect the hardware or collect the accessories, like the controllers, man. There's people that put tons of stuff like that out there on YouTube. So everybody's in their own space, man. My point being is that, however you consume it, you consume it. I have no problem with that. Like the whole thing with the Game Pass stuff. Like, that's what I say online. I'm like, look, dude, if it's not of value to you, then step away, dude. I do that all the time. The thing I don't like about what's happening with Game Pass is the ultra focus on Game Pass, and that's the only thing that's horrible right now. Is Game Pass. With everything else going on in the world, everything else going on in this country, that's the worst thing that could ever happen, is raising Game Pass to $30. And we've talked about that on a couple other videos. Faded Blaze says, I find it funny how the lies running rampant and getting out of hand the week of the Xbox Allies X release. Oh yeah, definitely Faded. And that's all these guys do, right? They wait for something to happen with Xbox, and then they just ultra focus on it, and then they blow it out of proportion. And that's what's happening right now. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Because I've been calling people out in these chats, man. As you can see, all in rant, value menu mentality, dude. The reason why I titled the podcast that is because I don't think people understand what the meaning of value is. or their definition of what value is kind of warped. Right. And a lot of it's due to the fact that some people feel a certain kind of way about things, man. A lot of times, guys, if you guys are going to make decisions, man, try and clear your head first. Try and think it through before you make any type of decision, right? That'll be, not in your benefit, right? And it's blowing my mind, dude. Like the conversations I'm having with people, and it's easy to turn people really quickly, man, because they don't understand. Like either they don't understand what they're saying or talking about, or they're not jacked into the ecosystem like we are, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But 100%, I get you, Faded. It's par for the course. I have one of the dudes that I follow on X. Was saying that about Xbox. It's just like, what all the news that's going out there, and all this stuff that's going on, and it's fuel to the fire. And I'm like, dude, even if Microsoft could shadow drop today, Microsoft could, or tomorrow, Microsoft could shadow drop the new console, the Magnus, shadow drop it tomorrow, and people would still be making videos saying it's not true. That's how bad it is in these gaming spaces, especially when it comes to Microsoft. And then let me clear something up. When I talk about Microsoft actually getting ahead of this kind of stuff, it's more for us, the fans, than opposed to the people that are out there hating on it. Because I can't control what those people do. And then ponies, dude, I don't even bother with those guys, dude. I don't even bother because you can't talk any sense to them, dude. I mean, there's facts and truth in front of them all the time, dude, and they refuse to acknowledge it. A lot of the stuff that they talk about with Xbox can be applied to their own console as well, and their company can be applied to Sony as well as their console of choice. Right? Ray Cheese 7361. Hey, welcome, dude. Well, people will talk about gaming will focus. Well, people who talk about gaming will focus on gaming. Why should gaming channels start talking about gas prices when it has nothing to do with gaming? It's for perspective, Ray. Right? Like I can't take people seriously when they're constantly talking about a $10 price increase on Game Pass, and I'm looking at the background of the video, and they have hundreds upon thousands of dollars of items in the background. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Like if I, as a person who's over 350 pounds, that's how much I weigh, right? Relatively tall, 350, right? And I come up to you and you're 6'1", like 4% body fat, ripped, chiseled, and me with my gut come up to you and say, "Hey, bro, you know what you need to do to get into shape, right? How would you take me seriously?" No, no, you wouldn't. And I wouldn't do that anyway because it's none of my business what other people do. Like when I go to the gym, dude, it's all about function, man. It's not about it's really not about looks or about my weight. I mean, unless it's detrimental to my health, right? That's the perspective I have when I go to the gym. So I don't bother with what other people do, right? But if you're gonna sit there and propose to be about value in gaming and greedy corporations, right, and that people are just trying to get money from you, dude, I'm all for you doing that. But at the same time, dude, you got to be realistic about it. You know, again, I was talking to this dude in the video, in the chat of this other person's video, and he was saying about how he hates to support greedy corporations, right? And then I just wrote back to him. I was like, okay, do you own a phone? Are you on the internet? Right? Obviously, you know, obviously he is because he's commenting on it, right? But the reason why I said to him, and I asked him a couple other questions to just get him to kind of think, right? Because if you have a problem with Microsoft and what they're doing, you should have a lot of problems with a lot of other companies, right? And I wanted to know if he did. And then he came back and then he responded, right? And I asked him if he had a cell phone, right? And then so he came back and says, I have a Samsung, but Samsung is not trying to rip me off. And I'm like, well, but how much? So I asked him, how much do you pay? How much do you pay for your Samsung? How much do you pay for your service? Right? And then he said, well, you're stretching. And when he says that, I already know I have him, right? Because at the end of the day, dude, if you're going to compare $30 on Game Pass to probably he pays, I would say 200, maybe $150, $200, right, for his service. And then he probably pay easily over $1,000 for the phone. But the service is every month, right? That he keeps on doing it, depending on what kind of plan he has, right? Maybe he got it where he's $100 a month, but he's still paying every month on that, right? And and it doesn't bother me that he does that. I don't care that he supports Samsung, dude. I have an iPhone. I'm not even into that Android Apple thing, dude. I have an iPhone just for it's easier, right? Because I'm not on my phone on that level. Like I use it for specific things, but most importantly, just to call my kids. Like if I need to know what's going on with my kids, that's the reason why I got it. The cherry on top of that is I listen to YouTube videos when I'm at the gym or I'm at therapy, when I have to take my mind off of stuff, right? And I just need noise. That's when I like to use my phone the most, right? And I'm not trying to, I'm not this dude's dad. I'm not trying to tell him how he spends his money. I don't really care. But my point being is that, and that's the reason why I'm talking about this value, right? It's because to him, his phone probably has a lot of value. Where Game Pass has no value to him. And I could tell by his comments, right? And I could tell he hates Microsoft. And then eventually he said he hates Microsoft. And that's what it boiled down to. So, of course, if you hate the company, right, you're going to call them a greedy corporation and then you're going to talk trash about Game Pass because everybody else is doing that. You feel me? Right? And that's what I wanted to get him to that point. He never did, really, though, because the conversation just dropped. And I knew it would. Right? Because people don't understand that when it boils down to some of this kind of stuff, it's just about value at the end of the day. What value do you place on stuff, right? Like there's a lot of stuff we have to pay for that we wish we didn't have to pay for, right? Like I said in my previous video, dude, I don't like that my electricity bill costs more. I don't like that my water bill costs more for things that are out of my control, right? The electric bill where I live is going up because we have wildfires on another in another area, right? And the electric company is being held liable for that, right? And as soon as that happened, and then they're gonna have a settlement, dude, all the prices jacked up. Same thing with the water, right? Federal government came into the state and they said, look, your sewer system is you ignored all these warnings. Now we're gonna fine you. And right after we get fined, boom, right? All the usage their sewer bill just raised exponentially to the point where it's affecting people right in their everyday lives, man. Because most people live paycheck to paycheck, and I don't mean that in just necessarily a bad way. It's just like you budget, right? You make a certain amount and you live within those means, right? So if anything goes out of whack, like you get laid off or the economy heads south, and everything just raises. The price of everything raises exponentially, dude. That could have a detrimental effect on your income and your way of life. Hey, what's up, Big Money King 23? So I'm sorry, Ray, but to your point, dude, I'm not. Yeah, you don't have to talk about it. I do on my channel because I think it's important, right? And then I try to do that in separate videos. But in a sense, it does matter, dude, because if you have to pay, like I used to pay like $20 for my gas, now I have to pay like $45 to fill up my car. And I made a conscious choice to get a smaller car that was more energy efficient, right? And it doesn't matter. Now, it does matter because I probably paid $60 to fill up my car. But now I'm only paying 45. But before I was paying 20. You see what I mean? So that's why I talk about that kind of stuff. But to be honest, dude, it's not about. I really don't care what you do with your money. What I care about is people being hypocritical or not thinking these things through, right? Because obviously, if you don't find value in something, right, then don't participate in it. But what you don't do is you don't say that it's trash, and that's what gets me. It's like people do the same thing with movies. Right, like me, dude. I'll use myself as an example. Liza P. I was waiting for that game to come out in Game Pass, right? Was thinking about buying it, but right because when I looked at the trailer and the video and stuff, I was like, oh, this looks amazing. I think I want to get it. But the one thing that stopped me from pulling the trigger is I don't like that type of gameplay, that Souls like type of gameplay. I just never did. Right. So when it came in Game Pass, I was hoping maybe it's a little bit more action adventure, which it kind of is. But at the end of the day, it feels like a Souls game to me. So even though the story was great, the graphics were amazing, everything about that game I loved, except for the actual gameplay, which is kind of important. And I just couldn't look past that, dude. And I could not pull the trigger on it. I was thinking of buying it just to support the developer, right? But I just, in good conscience, because they just would have sat there, and I already have a backlog of games that I don't play, right? But if I give a review about it, because I did play the game, right? I won't just come on and say, look, this game sucks, right? That would be disingenuous, right? Because there's something about the game that I can't play it because there's something about that game I actually don't like. But that doesn't mean the game is trash. It's actually had more to do with me than the actual game. The guys who made that game made the game the way that they wanted to make it, right? And that's the game that they presented. And for the most part, everything about that game is solid, dude. And there's people out there that love the game, right? So for me to go out there and say, oh, you know what, Liza P sucks. Liza P sucks because it's not the game that I wanted it to be. And that's what people do. Same thing with Game Pass, right? When you start getting like whittling down, like start talking to these people and have them have a conversation with them, as you know, as far as the chat and stuff like that, dude. You know, that's the problem I have with a lot of people, man, because they don't realize that this dude is just like he has a personal beef with Microsoft and he thinks everything they do sucks. So of course he's not gonna like the price increase of Game Pass, which a lot of people don't. I get it, but for me, it's kind of like, dude, okay, you know, because they and this is the thing that irritates me the most. I'm sorry, I'll get back to the chat, guys. Is because and then when they start parroting talking points, that really irritates me, right? Because it's not really their thought, right? It's just they're parroting what other people are saying. You know, it's like, oh, there's no games in Game Pass. I'm like, how do you know? You don't play it, dude. I can speak from it. Bias aside, dude, I can check my own bias. I'm like, bro, if you're a gamer and you have Game Pass, dude, there's a ton of games you can play. You're not gonna like every game, but they have so many games, dude. I guarantee you'll find something out there that you like, right? And that's proven by a lot of people's videos who didn't think Game Pass was crap. You know, I'll use Bruv as an example, right? He played Game Pass, he was totally blown away, and you know why he was blown away with it? Not because Game Pass is the greatest or because Microsoft is awesome, right? It's because he's a gamer at the end of the day. And for people who are gamers that are into the gaming culture that I talk about on this channel, people will find a lot of value with Game Pass. Because unless you go out and buy everything, right? Day one, Game Pass is your best option. But what most people will do, and I don't have a problem with this either, man, is like most people, number one, you don't have the money. That's number one. But number two, you also don't have the time. So a lot of people ended up buying games later on down the road, right? That's what people do. Like there's a big sale on Xbox right now, dude. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are buying the games that they wanted. They didn't pay the they didn't pay the 7, they didn't pay the 80, they didn't pay the 70, they didn't pay the 60, they didn't pay the 39, the 49, the 39, the 29. You know what I'm saying? 1999, whatever, and it doesn't matter across the board, dude. People put a value on everything, right? Dude, I ordered the dish rack on Amazon. They wanted $18. I looked at it. I thought, okay, maybe it's worth $18. I would have been happy if it was $14. Actually, originally they wanted like $36 for that thing, but it was on sale. I get it in the mail the other day, right? I pull it out of the box. I look at it. I'm like, oh crap, dude. And then I set it up, and for what it is, it's nice. But for me, it's not $18.99. That thing should have been $11.99, $9.99, right? Because of the quality, right? The size, all of that stuff, right? So again, it's about what kind of value people put on things. Sorry guys, I'll get back to it. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so what's up, Big B Money Monkey Money King 23? Yeah, we the Xbox Army, dude. We few and far between, but we still here, bro. Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, 100%, bro. Great chat. Good afternoon, Big B Money. Awesome. Um, Faded Blaze says, "Yo, what's bad is talking about Xbox news while not talking about Yote. And from what I heard, is the sales are not good." Yeah, dude, I've heard a lot about Yote. I mean, honestly, guys, I don't focus on PlayStation stuff. I mean, yes, but I mean, if you're into general gaming stuff, you kind of, it is crickets, dude. Nobody's really talking about it. I don't see positive or negative. I'll see somebody say they love the game and share some clips like on social media, But as far as when it comes to gaming, it's all Xbox all the time, good and bad. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why so many Xbox guys are kind of disheartened right now because you can't be in a gaming space and not see negativity being spread, and not just negative. Like if you're a Sony guy or a Pony, right? Totally get it, 100%, right? I mean, and most Xbox guys get it, right? They hate Xbox. They want it to die. They want it to go away. Sony's the best. All that crap. You used to that, but what's getting a lot of people is when it starts crossing the streams with a guy like we mentioned, a couple of people on the podcast the other day, man. Like if you watch a guy like Tyrone Magnus, right? He mostly talks about pop culture stuff, especially when it comes to movies. That's why I started watching him, dude. And he's talking about the Xbox stuff, right? There's other people out there that normally don't talk about Xbox that are talking about it, and of course that'll piss you off as an Xbox guy because why are you talking about it if you don't have an Xbox? Why are you talking about it if you're not in the ecosystem? That stuff matters. Being in the ecosystem, being a part of Xbox, and it's not just about what you read, but you have to experience it. Again, the culture, right? Faded Blaze says, speaking of greedy corporations, there is a certain someone that calls out Microsoft, but don't make videos on Nintendo. Yeah, I think you're talking about what's that dude, RG, whatever. He'll talk, like I saw him talk about it one time about bad on Nintendo, but then this dude still he still goes and buys the stuff, right? And he still supports them. And then I look at him, I'm like, bro, you're a Nintendo channel. You should focus on Nintendo. I normally don't have problems with Nintendo guys because they tend to stay in their lane. But when you have these influencers, right, they have to have content and they have to do stuff, right? And that's why they do these videos. And then they purport themselves to be gamers. Dude, they're not gamers, dude. If you're a gamer, bro, you have Game Pass. I mean, like a true gamer. If you're a hardcore gamer, right, especially in my vein, dude, you have Game Pass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's why I say on my channel all the time. A lot of people out there, bro, are not gamers. They're just not. Just being 100%, dude. If you go out there and you only play a couple games a year, or you play the same games over and over, I'm not saying that you don't have the right to do that. Do whatever you want. But from my perspective, when I'm looking at that, I don't consider you a gamer. A gamer is somebody that likes to play games, that immerses themselves in the industry. Again, the word culture, I use that a lot, right? But you just like playing games for the sake of playing games, whether you like it or not, right? That's how it was for me when I was growing up. Majority of the people in our brotherhood are the same way. Right, when we look at this kind of stuff, dude, we look at it from a gamer perspective. And it's unfortunate, Faded, that it's like that, dude. But a lot of these guys really need to stay in their lane. I mean, honestly, bro, because they're talking about stuff they know nothing about. There's a dude that does a lot of the conspiracy stuff that I like. He's on YouTube. He has a channel. He goes down these rabbit holes that I absolutely love. But he does video games on the side, and he did a good video on Starfield. But now he's been talking about gaming on a level that I'm kind of like, I have to make a comment on him. Dude. Like, look, dude, because normally if I don't really care about you, I don't comment, right? But this dude, I kind of like his channel, so I told him, look, dude, let me drop some knowledge on you, man. Let me let you know, right? Because if you're not participating in the ecosystem, the stuff you're saying is not true. Right? You don't understand how it works. Like he was complaining about the rewards program. And I'll be honest with you guys, what Microsoft did with the rewards, from what I've seen in the week that I've been using my Game Pass and my account and getting my points, it seems like Microsoft is ultra focusing on the people that have the premium or that are subscribed to the service across the board. And it's like I'm looking at my stuff, it's growing exponentially a lot faster because of the way I game now. I'm not one of these guys that goes out and purposely um if I'm getting Bing points or rewards and I'm actually doing that, I'm hunting it down, it has to be something that I want to do. Right. I just don't go out and do stuff for the sake of doing it. Right. This is like if I want to, I could get 250 points on PC if I play a PC game every day for 5 days straight. Then I get 250 rewards points. But the way that I do my gaming, I don't want to do that. Right. Even though I could. Like I could fire up solitaire and play for 15 minutes every day this week. Right. And then when I get to Friday, boom, I get 250 points on top of the 5, 10, 15 points I get for playing it on because I think it's a Game Pass game. Whatever. Right. I could stack points that way. But kind of like how I am with achievements. I love achievements, but I don't go out of my way to get them. Because when I do my gaming, I have to be immersed in it. I talk about this with pop culture, TV shows I watch, anime I watch, all that kind of stuff, dude. I have to discipline myself more when it comes to pop culture because I don't. I'm a little bit more freelance when it comes to this kind of things, right? Like I like to watch things when I feel like it. I like to do things when I feel like it. Sometimes I'll be trying to finish a game, then I get distracted by something else because I just feel like playing that game at that time, right? So that's the way I consume my pop culture, right? And I know not everybody's like that, right? I get it, right? But I don't go out of my way for being like to do that. Like I could get 250 points by the end of Friday, on top of stacking all the other stuff that I do with it, right? And then I can get points back. But it is growing exponentially. So the dude doesn't know that, right? He's talking bad about it because he's kind of like, oh, Microsoft, what they're doing is just giving you basically a coupon, right? Which is what they've been doing this whole time, right? But again, if you're not in the ecosystem, you can't speak honestly or knowledgeably about these things, right? And I'm not throwing shade, dude. And I get it. There's some people that don't want to do that at all. So that value is not there for them. Again, the key word in this podcast is value. What value do you put on stuff, right? And value, like what kind of money are you going to put on this? What kind of time do you want to put into this? It's all of that, right? And that's why I'm on these guys in this chat, man, because I'm like, no, dude, it's not Game Pass isn't bad. You just don't like it. And on top of that, you hate Microsoft, right? Because he brought up like 360 or something like that, right? If you guys didn't know this, dude, Microsoft has haters all from all angles, dude. I work with guys, they're all computer guys, dude. They hate Microsoft. They hate Windows. They hate the corporation. Dude, they hate Bill Gates to this day. Bill Gates ain't even there anymore, and they hate this dude, right? You know, and that's just the way it is. Xbox is the same way, dude. We've been dealing with this. You guys know I'm a Sega dude, man. My gamer tag is Sega forever, and I'm a Sega dude. I'm Sega, hardcore Sega, right? And I've been dealing with the PlayStation dudes since back in the day, man. These dudes have always been this, and they've never changed. They've always been brand gamers, dude. All they care about is Sony. They don't even have to buy the games. They don't even have to support the company with monetarily. They just support the brand. And what they do is instead of playing their games, they're on social media all the time, talking up Sony and trying to bring everybody else down. That's why PC guys don't like them. That's why even Nintendo guys can't stand these dudes because they always got to stick their finger in your Kool-Aid. And that's how they are, dude. And to be honest with you, I know that about them, so I'm not as bothered by them because I know that it's just the nature of the beast with these guys, right? Right. And but when it comes to other places like the gaming media, it irks me, right? Because they shouldn't be biased, and a lot of them are. These influencers, man, they're either biased or they want the clicks and the views, and that's horrible as well. All right, guys, sorry, I'll get back to the chat. Yeah, Sony sequels are cursed. Graphics and gameplay are better, but story and sales are worse. Ray, I'll be honest with you, dude. They kind of made that bed, so they gotta lay in it, dude. There's a certain, just like calling Xbox a shooter box never bothered me because it is a shooter box. It's always been a shooter box. I play shooters, so why would I get offended when people? Because some people will come at me and goes, "Oh, all you guys are the shooter box." I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that, dude. I play Overwatch 2. I play Overwatch 2, COD, Halo. Just finish Gears. Right, I'm not good at the multiplayer, so I don't play the multiplayer as much as the other brethren. But there's a ton of games I play that are shooters. So why would I get mad about that? I actually like that about Xbox. Right. But the thing that pisses me off about these guys is they don't acknowledge all the other stuff that Xbox does now. Right. Because they were told by the gaming community, this is what we want from you, Xbox. And even back in the day, I was telling them, no, they're lying to you, Xbox. They don't want that stuff, right? They just want to hate on you. And I was hoping that these guys will wake up to that. Maybe they are right now. Maybe that's why Microsoft is doing some of the things that they're doing, right? But at the end of the day, that's just the reality of it. I don't know what else to say. So why would I get offended with them? Like how they get offended when you talk about their AAA games? That's what they're known for, right? But they got exposed, man. These last 2 years, they got exposed because the economy went bad. People are willing to pay the big bucks for these games. Well, what's happening is people are paying for the games, but because money is a thing now, they're looking at the game and wondering if it's value for them to pay $80 for this game that they'll beat over a weekend. When everything's good and people got money in their pockets, sure, people will spend money, dude. But right now, this is not that time. This is what I said yesterday about Xbox. It's unfortunate for them because the Game Pass is a value added. It was a value added program, right? And then they went premium, right? And they're going premium with a lot of stuff now. I'm not and for me personally, guys, I'm just being honest. You don't have to agree with me, but I think Microsoft should eat that cost. If I'm being honest. But at the flip side, I can't blame them, right? Because they've done everything bent over backwards, give the gamers what they wanted, and the gamers just spit in their face every time. What would you do if people did that to you? What would you do if every day you open the door for this person and he just slaps you in the face every day for years? Dude, at some point you're gonna get upset, right? You're gonna be like, all right, enough of this. And that's what I'm looking at with Microsoft. Plus, Microsoft's got a lot of big plans. Dude. Shout out to Hargeet. I should shout him out more, dude. I do watch his stuff. Not as much as I should, dude. Sorry, Hargeet, but Hargeet did a great video. I might do a hat tip video just to put his stuff out there. He's probably one of the more sensible guys out there. Don't agree with everything he says. Like I'm pretty sure he won't agree with everything I say, but he's one of the good guys that is out there, dude. And I'll do a hat tip video to him because he broke it down exponentially. He broke it down with facts, right? And the way he talks about things, he knows what he's talking about because it comes from a place of he's not over there looking for stuff, and it's all he's just off the dome. So I appreciate that about his videos. And he talked about it. Something I never really thought about is cloud, right? And he has been talking about it for a while, dude. Of course, when you're in this console war stuff, right, it is what it is. But it's like, yeah, Microsoft wants they want their pound of flesh now, like Microsoft proper, right? The $1 trillion company that backs Xbox, the guys that want to, that's going to be reopening power plants all over the country, nuclear power plants. Yeah, but good comment. Thanks, Ray. And it's just the way it is now, dude. It's not look, people's things change, and Sony's gonna have to deal with that. That's why they tried to do the pay for, and everybody's trying to do it. Don't get me wrong, dude. I mean, but that's why Microsoft or Sony had to shift, and their fans hated them for that, dude. And that's on them, dude. That's their own little drama. I don't even care on their side. Mike, hey, what's up, Mike Johnson, bro? Yo, what's crack-a-lackin'? Yeah, dude, it's all drama. Just trying to bring some sensibility to the conversation, dude. Thanks for being here, bro. Hey, what's up, my brother Sega Man? Dude, if you want to jump in, I'll send you the link. Today's what is today? Columbus Day? It is Columbus Day. Columbus Day. Hold on, my brother. Let me pop this bad boy up. I'll shoot it to you. Just a rant video today. But if you want to jump in, if you have time, bro, I know you're busy. I had plans today. They got kind of shot down, so that's why I did this video. Plus, I kind of wanted to do the video, man, because dealing with these people, man, is just unbelievable. Dude. It's one thing to have an opinion. It's another thing to have an opinion, but not know what you're talking about. Right? I sent you the link on Instagram, bro. If you want to jump in, just jump in, and I'll add you to the chat, to the conversation. Rachie says, good evening, Mike Johnson. Rachie also has another comment. He says, I love how Gabe Newell and his company, Valve, saved themselves from so many controversial situations by doing one important thing, nothing. By doing nothing, people can't fix by default in what they are doing. I think another thing is just their price point. It fits their base, right? Because a lot of people love the Steam sales. My son was doing that. My son's on the PC side of things, right? He mostly plays on PC. Though I will say he came back to the house. He's in college right now. He came back to the house and picked up the 360 and his a Fortnite Special Edition Series S Xbox One S that I bought for him. They used to play all the time before he got into PC. He actually built his own rig. It was impressive, actually. I see, guys. Look, dude, I'm not that hater, dude. That's out there just to hate. Right, that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm not gonna download my stuff on my kids, dude. My son likes playing with his friends. They all play on PC. They all play Fortnite. I think he played. That's how I was able to play Spider-Man, and some other games that he likes. But honestly, he's not really like a hardcore gamer like his dad, right? Because his friends, they do it as a social thing, because they go spearing fish, they go surfing, they go play sports, dude. He's in a band, plays music, he does all this stuff, right? And that's because that's what his friend group does, and that's what they all do together. And that's cool, bro. Like I said, dude, you don't have to be a hardcore gamer, man. Just enjoy it. But what you have to be is honest. Okay, that's all I ask. Okay? When I'm in these chat groups and these people are, and it doesn't take long, man. You just take them down that road, right? And it's just that they hate Xbox or they hate Microsoft. And I'm like, dude, just say that then. Don't say this sucks. Don't say that there's no value in Game Pass when there still is value in Game Pass, right? And then you do the normal thing, like Ebot talks about it, Unlimited talks about it. You just ask them the questions, right? That we all ask them. It's just like, okay, well, are you going to buy every single game day one for $8? No. And it's a rhetorical question, technically, when we're asking them this stuff, right? Because we know they're not, right? Or are you going to play all these games now? Right? Well, how are you going to get the games? I'll just wait for it to go on sale. Well, you could just have a $30 subscription, and you can play the games day one. Oh, no, that's too much money. Okay, that's too much money, but you're going to pay $150 for the special edition Final Fantasy, whatever, 7. You see what I'm saying, right? When you check them like that, dude, their argument falls apart. And then you just keep on pushing their buttons until they admit they just hate it. And I'm like, okay, that's all you have to say. That it was that simple. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to Steam, dude. They know their fan base, dude. They know what people are willing to pay and how they participate in that ecosystem. Again, you guys know I'm a console guy, so that's where I roll. Ray Cheat 7361. Yeah, I remember in the 360 era, Xbox fanboys were saying we didn't need Wii games on Xbox. Guess what happened in the Xbox One era? Some of the best games of the gen were PS4 Wii game exclusives. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Again, Microsoft also runs, if you know, Xbox is a Microsoft um, product, right? And so they crunch the numbers. That's what Microsoft does. I think they crunch the numbers a little bit too much sometimes, but that's what they do. That's how they come up with all this kind of stuff. This is why they course corrected, because they were listening to what people said, especially when you have somebody like Phil Spencer, who's a part of the gaming culture, right? Not just the head of Xbox, the Xbox division, dude. He's into the gaming culture, and when he's listening to you, but your actions don't match the words, then this is why we're at where we're at, dude. Had people, if they would have got that 100,000 subscribers to Game Pass, then it would be in a different world, right? And they were thinking that they would because of what happened with Xbox Live, right? The Xbox Live, I remember when that first launched, they didn't think they were going to get the people that they got, and they ended up doing that. So Game Pass is way better than Live, dude. It has way more value to it, especially at the price point that they have. But had everybody came in, again, my bulletproof video I did on my channel, had everybody did that and came in, then it'd be a different ballgame, and Microsoft Microsoft Game Pass would be the Netflix of gaming. 100%. Hey, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, brother? I'm coming in for a little bit and seeing what's going on, man. Great show last night.
Yeah, thanks for being on, bro. It was an excellent show. I really appreciate it.
Great. Me, you, Hebot, and shouts out to Hebot. Today's his birthday.
Is it? Oh, dude, I forgot.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, happy birthday, my brother. I'm gonna have to hook him up.
Yeah.
That's my other friend's birthday too. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I told him I'd hook him up later. Yeah, I'm gonna hook him up. But yeah, happy birthday, old man.
Yeah. Go to sleep, Najee.
I know, right? Yeah, go to sleep. Go to sleep for once, brother.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for reminding me, dude.
Yeah, man.
I lost track of the date.
That dude, man, I have to give him a shout out, man. He's like a man of steel, honestly. That dude just goes every day, every single day, driving I don't know how he does it. I told him one time, brother, I said, well, how do you honestly, bro, how do you do this? I don't know how you do this, man. The pains you have, you end up not getting much sleep, and then you got to take everybody to work as his kids. And I understand. I would do the same thing. I'm a father, but it's tough. You know how it is, Sega Forever. You take your kids places too. This shit is not easy, man. This shit is tough, man. Especially when he's doing that for years.
I tell you this, man. I was pushing my kids to get their license because I wanted them to start doing stuff on themselves.
Yeah.
Then this economy went south, bro, and then I was like, "Dang, dude, how much is that used car?" What I'm saying? Right? Cars would be like $3,000. Them bad boys are like they want $10,000, $12,000 now for you.
I know.
Nope.
I know. It's
right?
like my daughter, she's driving. She has her, car. Now my son, he's driving. He has to put in them hours, driving hours, then get his license. So he'll have it in January. So I'm trying to get my car I'm driving now ready for him, and I'm just going to get another used car. If I'm in a credit union, so I can get finance, but
Oh,
he wants my car. So it's just a starter car. It's a starter car for a couple of years. It's an older car, but it's a starter car for him, brother.
some of these dealerships. Well, the dealership I go to is really good, man. But these dealerships, man, you show up with that Federal Credit Union loan, they don't like that at all, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Oh,
they can't finesse themselves. They're like, look, this is what I got. This is what you got for me. And
yeah,
then you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Some of them don't. I guess some of them don't like the credit union. But you know what?
Well,
Sometimes you got to do that, man.
no, I recommend everybody do that, and you
Right.
just got to be willing to walk off the lot because the dealership I go to, they're really cool, man. But they wanted their money, and then what they did was they were like, oh, okay, well, we have a 2016, um, version.
Yeah,
You can just go check that out, right? Because they didn't
yeah,
want to budget the price, and I was like, and then I went with them, and I looked at, it, I was like, you know what, man, it's just me and my two kids, that'll work. Yeah,
yeah,
fine, do it. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, can you hold a second? So you went and talked to the manager, right? I thought they're doing the paperwork to get the older, the older model.
yeah.
And he comes back, he goes, oh, you know what, sir, we can work it out with you. We can do the other car. I was like, all right, well, it worked out.
Really? What made it? What made them change their mind? Do you know?
Yeah, they're just trying to, they're playing chicken with me. They wanted me to, because they
Okay.
were trying to get me because I have the loan, so they try and get the
Yeah,
finance with the extra packaging and
yeah,
kind of put down on other stuff. I'm like, no, dude, I don't need that. I don't need the door. I don't need that kick door thing, bro.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? Like, how that's what they do. That's their job.
Yeah,
It's just like with gaming, bro. It's just like I've been trying to. That's why I did this video. I've been trying to explain to some of these people, right? I'm just like, bro, do what you need to do. Like, like just the entitlement people have. Like, oh, why is Game Pass doing this? Dude, Game Pass shouldn't do this, right? Game Pass, they're charging too much, man. And now it's affecting. I'm like, bro, then you do you, bro. Like, look, dude, I don't like the fact that where I go to the movies, man. Like, I stopped going to the movies because that thing was like $40 just for the
yeah,
tickets,
yeah,
me and my kids. And then you add the food, bro. You have $100, man. And I've been like that for a couple of years, man. I know the rest of the country's catching up with us, right?
yeah,
But it's like not even a thought in my mind to go to the movies, man. It's like, okay, they have their price. That's what they expect, dude. That's not in my wheelhouse. So I just step.
yeah.
And that's what I would appreciate from these guys, right? But they'll say like this one dude was like, oh yeah, well Game Pass sucks. I'm like, why does
Actually,
it
it
suck?
doesn't. I mean, that's his opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can have the opinion, but then when he breaks it down, it's like, no, dude, that's not. You're wrong, right? Unless you buy like, and I talked about it a little bit earlier in the video.
Yeah,
Unless you're buying all these games day one, I don't, and I don't see people doing that, right? Because one of the reasons you don't like Game Pass increasing the price, which is fair, right? You don't think it's value in the price increase, right? So just to me, I just would step, right?
yeah, yeah. It's. I tell you what, brother Sega Forever, you're right about a lot of things you were pointing out today in your podcast. A lot of these people that do content on YouTube are at fault too because they're really brainwashing some of these people. Honestly, when it comes to certain things that they're saying and
Mhm.
trying to embed inside these gamers' heads about Game Pass. Game Pass is not bad, guys. It's not. It's actually better than PlayStation Plus. Do the math. It is. It's better than PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
And Nintendo doesn't have anything. Okay, PlayStation does have something, but when you put it up against Xbox and their subscription, Game Pass is still the winner, guys. It's just better, and I keep telling you guys, and people are making videos right now about a Sega Forever. You can still go Dollar Tree, Dollar General, CVS, Walgreens, these different places, guys, and you can still get it for $19.95 before November. So what you need to do is you need to stack up. Buy like 3 of them or something or 2 or whatever you can buy. Buy one every paycheck before November and you'll have a lot of months before you have to buy the next one. So
Right.
if it's too hard for you, okay? And I'm being honest, guys, with this. I'm an honest dude, guys, because I'm not rich at all. I'm telling you right, I'm not rich at all.
Yeah.
But what you need to
A lot of people found out they
Yeah.
wasn't rich these last 2 years.
Brother Sega Forever. It's like me, E-Rock said a long time ago on the Exile. It is an expensive hobby, guys. It is. I'm sorry. It just is. Games can't stay at 50. I'm sorry. It just can't. Everything goes up. It's getting expensive to make these games, guys. You want these triple A, double A games. They're expensive as hell. That's why a lot of shit is going up. I understand, but you can also buy your games and your subscriptions at a budget. You got to use your head. You know what I mean? You can save up. If you stack up right now and get at least 2 or 3 1 month ultimate game passes, you'll have enough months where you can actually just save and get 1 or 2 more. It's $30. I'm pretty sure you could save a few dollars out of your check. 10, 20, 30. You can save $10 a check, right? And have another month of game. Guys, use your head. It's not rocket science, guys. It's still the best value for your buck. It really is, guys. I mean, stuff has to go up. Now, they might change their mind later, Sega Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, maybe Microsoft might come back and say, you know what? Let's try something else. And guys, maybe they might change it back or change it to be a little lower. Maybe they'll make it $25 instead of 30 something dollars. They might. But guys, you got to understand, even if it goes back to 25, it's not going to stay that way for a long time. It's going to eventually go back up. So because things go up, it is very expensive to make these games, guys. You know what I mean? And it's a shame. It is a shame, like you said, Brother Sega Forever, that a lot of these gamer guys out here believe these content creators. It's not Microsoft is not the problem. It's everything goes up, guys. If you want a game, you have to pay. You can't. Everything's not for free. Like you hear. I'll give you an example, Brother Sega Forever. Porter Rock did his video, and he was saying, "Yeah, remember when Game Pass you could try it out for $1?" Like he kept bringing that up. I'm like, dude. You're not getting Ultimate Game Pass anymore for $1 or tryouts. Yeah, it was crazy insane when they did that. It was cool. Okay, but I mean maybe you want those days back because you don't buy games, Porter Rock? And maybe that's what you want, to get Ultimate Game Pass for $1 like trials and stuff. Those days are gone. Those days are long gone. You know what I mean? You have to pay what they're offering to you, and it's still better than what any other gaming company out there can do for you, guys. It is. There's tiers, like they said. What's up, Mr. Kima? There's tiers, like they said, Brother Sega Forever, and they might change it again, Brother Sega Forever. Maybe they'll go back and say, let's rethink this. Let's change it up a little more, to satisfy our customers. Because there's one thing that Sega Forever hit on, guys. Listen what I'm saying. They always pay to Microsoft is the only company. Xbox is the only division that has listened to their fan base and always came out and supported us and did videos and did all kind of shows for us and everything. There is no other company had done as many shows for gamers like Microsoft and Xbox has. You always seen Sarah Bond. You always see Phil Spencer coming out. Sometimes you'll see Aaron Greenberg. You'll see Matt Booty. They come out and let the guys know that they care about the Xbox fans. Have you seen any other company actually come out and say, hey, Nintendo guys, we really care about you. Hey, PlayStation guys, we really care about you. And this is what we got coming out for PlayStation. If they do it, it's once in a blue moon.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, Brother Sega Forever?
Totally agree.
And I don't have to lie about it, guys. And I'm not somebody that's out here damage controlling. I'm telling you the truth as a gamer. I watch those shows, and they don't come out with anything. And when they come out with state of plays, guess what? The PlayStation fanboys are upset. They're upset with what PlayStation's bringing out. They're upset with Ghost of Yote. So what is that telling you? But everybody wants to go back and forget about that, right, Sega Forever? Let's go back to beating up on Xbox. Let's just forget about what they're saying about Ghost of Yote and PlayStation not bringing us in. Let's just keep beating up on Xbox, because that's just the thing to do, Sega Forever. That is the thing to do. It's all over Facebook. It's all over They keep saying it like they're deaf ears, brother. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's why I told that dude, the guy I follow on X, man. I told him straight up because he was talking about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I said to him straight up, I just tweeted back to him, I'm like, look, bro, Xbox could shadow drop a console tomorrow.
Yeah.
And these PlayStation dudes will still be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not true. It's fake. They're going out of
Yeah.
business. Xbox is dead. Because they've been doing it since 2013. So that's the pattern, guys.
Yeah. And Brother Sega Forever, I want to let you know, I listened to what's her name's video. The lady that a lot of people don't like, the Xbox lady that helped build the Xbox first one.
Oh yeah. I'm actually going to do a reaction to her video because I do like her.
I'm not going to say anything, Brother Sega Forever, but I watched it and I tell people, wait a minute, Microsoft is not perfect. Xbox is not perfect, guys. I'm not saying that. I do bleed green, and Xbox is my preferred console, even though I own other game systems. I tell you guys this all the time. I have a PS4. I have a Nintendo Switch sitting right here beside me right now. But my main console is the Xbox, and it always will be. Xbox, period, point blank. It's Xbox. I bleed green. But some of the, I'm not going to say nothing because Sega Forever, I want to see his video on. Some of the stuff she was
saying. No. You can say whatever you want. I've already watched her video.
Some of the stuff she was saying, I'm sorry, guys. You got to hear. Some people don't like to hear it. Some of the stuff she's right about, guys. She helped create and did leaps and bounds to get the Xbox OG Papa Xbox where it was at in that time period in time. So I'm going to listen to her because she was in the ecosystem. She worked for Xbox. She worked for Microsoft.
She's on the original team.
Right. So I'm not saying that I agree with everything she says, but I do agree with some of the things she says. I do not disagree with everything she says because she knows what she's doing. She's a very smart woman.
Right.
Okay. You got to take in perspective and show some respect. Listen to her. Don't jump down her throat. Listen to what she has to say.
Yeah, and you can disagree with her because there's some things I do disagree with her, but I just let you guys know how I am. You guys know, again, Sega Forever is my gamer tag. I'm a Sega guy, right? I'm a Sega guy from the OG.
Yes.
Sega, right? So I still give respect to these people that were there from the jump. I did the same thing with Xbox, man. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Mikey Barra and the stuff he's been saying. I always have mad respect for Mikey Barra. We could use a little Mikey Barra with Xbox right now, if I'm being perfectly honest. Same thing with Laura Fry is her name. I always respect it because she's there on ground floor. Same thing with a lot of us with Sheamus. Even with Cliff Blazinski, man, I think Cliff Blazinski is nuts right now, but I still always respect him, bro, because he was ground floor with Xbox, dude. If it wasn't for him, dude, I wouldn't have gone into the culture of Xbox the way that I did.
Yeah,
because he was a big star back in the day.
Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah, and it doesn't negate, like, even though I disagree with her on some part, for case in point, right? She's talking about the culture, 100% agree with that. The problem I have is a problem I have with myself as well, that I always gotta check myself, is that I'm older. Right. So as a person who's older, man, like when I'm talking to my daughter about stuff, because she's getting into like animation and comic books and all this kind of stuff, she does all that kind of stuff, but I try not to download my stuff on her. Like we have these conversations, she asks me things, I try and answer, but she's of a different generation than I was. And so that's what I think a lot of these older Xbox guys need to realize, because every time I'm in a comment section saying, man, people's like, the last great console was the 360. I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it. I know. I was there in the 360.
Right. Yes,
we were there, right? And you could do some amazing things, but bro, this is 2025. You know, like I told this one dude, he's like metalhead, something like that. He was talking about the 360, so I know he knows what he's talking about, right? But the way he was opining about it, so I just basically wrote him, just kind of, I don't know, tongue in cheek kind of thing to him, joke around. It's like, hey, bro, you know what? Stop, press pause on your Metallica album and join us in 2025. That's what I wrote to him, right? Because I'm an old dude too, and for somebody who's old, again, perspective matters, right? And I don't bemoan the 360. We grew up in that generation, right? My son just took my 360, right? I didn't even know I had the 360, bro. I forgot. I thought I got rid of it. It was in the closet. Dude. Yeah, my son grabbed my 360. The one with the one that I installed, the 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
He grabbed his old Xbox One S, the Fortnite edition that he used to play all the time, because he used to play Fortnite and Minecraft. Yeah. And then because he's on PC now mostly, and then he went and grabbed a bunch of the physical games that I had that I forgot I had.
Nice.
Yeah, he went and dug it all out. Brad was like, "Hey, Dad, can I take this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool." I was like, "I forgot we had that." He goes, "Oh yeah," and he found the controllers. Right. So I was like, dang, dude. You know, so I get it, guys. I was there. We're me, Sega Man, he bought. We were all there. We all went through that. Like again, I always say this on the channel. Don't have to Google it. We were we lived it.
And your brother Sega forever. It's like my son is younger. He's 16, but he wanted a believe it or not, he was playing on his his computer PC rig that he built, and he asked me one day, I want a 360. I said, "Wow, you do? You want Xbox 360? Okay, let's go to go to Exchange." I got him a 360, and I got him all kind of games, and he wanted to hook up back up the old Connect because when they were babies, they played Connect with their dad.
Yeah.
So as they got older, I think he was feeling nostalgia of when they were younger and we would play the Connect, and I think he wanted to relive that when we played the Connect together. They were babies, man. I had my daughter and my son, playing Connect with me, exercising and different things like that. And I think it brought back memories for him. He doesn't play it now. It's downstairs. But there was a moment in time where he wanted a 360, and I went out and got him a 360, got him games, Connect games and different things like that. He wanted it back. So yeah, I mean, you are right. Yeah, a 360 was a phenomenal console, and some of us like me, I still own. I got two of them, two different models,
Nice.
and they're right. And but guys, just like Sega Forever said, this is 2025. There's been a big, huge change since the old days of G4 Xbox 360.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not the same gaming industry. That's
Yeah.
why to let these guys know, because you'll see that all the time in the comment section. So respect to those kind of people, because number one, they're OG,
Yeah.
right? But on the flip side, you got to check them too, man. It's like, bro, we're in 2025. If you don't like it, I get it, dude. But either get on board or get off.
Yeah.
And and that's the ironic thing, because I said that the other day in the video, or in the cast we're in. It blows my mind, because I'm like, dude, you could just play it on Xbox One now. Actually, almost the majority of the games are on one. I mean, I know the whole digital versus physical and all this kind of stuff. I do have the S and the X, and the X is the one with the hard drive, so I don't have to worry about it. But you know what I'm saying? And that's another video for another day.
But brother Sega Forever, what I honestly that I never understood. What I never understood was why do people, even though Microsoft, it's really abysmal and is really crazy. Xbox even themselves came out and told you guys that there's going to be another console, and you guys are still out here saying there's not going to be another console, and then Xbox is dead. What does that tell you? As a gaming company that made Xbox, that was formed from Microsoft, they're coming out telling you that there is definitely going to be more hardware and a new console, and you guys are still out here saying that there's not going to be another console. You're in denial, you're butthurt, and you're whining and crying because Xbox, you hate Xbox that bad. You hate Game Pass that bad. You live in your own reality, and you're making false videos. You're making false content, and everybody is watching you, looking at you, saying, "You guys are really dumbasses out here in the gaming community, trying to make it toxic for real gamers that want to enjoy real gaming content by making this make believe stuff." Brother Singer Forever? Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, it's not coming back. When Phil and him already came out and said, Sarah Bond and all them, no, we are making another console. But no, they say Sega Forever. Well, I like that Dreamcast guy. Well, I still don't believe it. I don't believe it's going to be another console.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't understand them, bro.
Yeah, they're never gonna get it, dude. I mean, they're never gonna get it. They never planned on getting it. All that stuff.
Nope.
And again, guys, that's fine. But all I ask is that you guys be honest, and more importantly, think for yourselves, man. Because a lot of times I read these comments, dude. I'm just like, man, these guys are just echoing what people are telling them, dude. And I think that's sad. I think that's the biggest problem I'm having right now. Is like, dude, make up your own mind, make up your own decision, and that's gonna require you, man, to make some choices.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day, that's the hard part, right? Because you might have to put out money out there to take a chance on something, right? And you might not like it. But on the flip side, you might like it. I mean, that's the way gaming was built at the end of the day, right? But now everything's at your fingertips, So when you have a service that you have to pay $30 for every month, right? And I think we still get Sega Man. I think we still get the discount, right?
Yeah, and check this out, bro. Sake of ever in real time while we're talking. I'm looking at my phone. AGN said Microsoft confirms it scrapped the Xbox Game Pass discount on all games and DLC purchases. Give subscribers more reward points instead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, from what I've been using this week, because Call of Duty dropped another battle pass,
Yeah,
and so every time they do that, you get double XP.
right.
So I didn't get the battle pass because I'm not into the Halloween themes. A lot of the stuff there.
Yeah.
So I'm just been playing it, dude, getting my trying to get my XP up and playing other stuff, dude. I've enjoying the new maps, dude. They're awesome. But what I noticed though is when I complete things, right, I'm getting more.
Yeah.
So I think they shifted to us, to the premium guys, right?
And you know what, brother Sega Fever? Yes, they're saying this stuff about them scrapping discount things and all that. But I'm telling you guys, rather you like it or not, Microsoft and Xbox do accommodate their subscribers, their fan base, the people like me and Sega Forever and he bought, and all of us like unlimited knowledge that invest, that are highly invested into Microsoft and Xbox and Game Pass. But guys, it doesn't matter what they do. In all reality, it's gonna come back because things go up. That's just the way it is. It might be some things that they might scrap for a while, brother Sega Forever, but it doesn't matter, guys. At the end of the day, Sony, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox, you're going to pay more. Nintendo is doing it right now. They don't care about how you feel. It's $80. You don't like it, then you don't play it. Go play your Switch One. They'll tell you that. They won't tell you that to your face, but brother, that's what they do. Was that VG Fight School?
What's up, Kenneth Williams? I saw that. Yeah, VG Fight School has been on X, Twitter.
Yeah, you're right, Kenneth. Yeah, he's another good guy to listen to.
Yeah,
I actually thought that was VG on there. But yeah, that's cool, Ken. I didn't see your name. What's up, buddy? But yeah, he's a good guy. I listen to him.
Welcome, bro.
Yeah, I listen to him. He's cool. But brother Sega Forever, like I said, I mean, how long is Xbox gonna keep doing stuff like? I mean, eventually, guys, it's just the way it is. If you want to stay in the gaming, in the future, you're gonna pay more. You're just going to consoles, games, content, whatever. You're gonna. It's expensive as hell to make games. It's more expensive to make games now than I think movies now. I mean,
yeah, so that's so for the, I'll just add a little commentary on that. And that's not your guys' problem. That's on the studios.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to find their way around things.
Yeah,
and that's why you have with Xbox and Game Pass. That's why you have the ID Xbox program. That's why you have Microsoft buying for content. That's why you have all of this stuff in their ecosystem. However way you want to slice it, dude, Microsoft will meet you there.
Yep.
Right, and they've always done that. They've done that since 2013. Hell, they did that in 360.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're way ahead of that curve. The 360.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But again, guys, it's how you want to participate in the ecosystem.
Yes.
And if you don't, like 100% for honest terms, like just be honest about it. Dude. That's all I ask, dude, because I get it. Right? We like if you have to pay, dude. I shouldn't have to tell you guys this, but I'll just make a public service announcement on this video, right? If you have rent, food, your kids' school, you have all this stuff going on, of course, that's the most important. That's a no-brainer, right? All of this other stuff is secondary. And not just gaming, movies, all that stuff doesn't matter, right? You gotta handle your business. We get it, right? But right now, dude, if you're actually looking at value, right? And again, you got to make some choices. Like for me, if I was hurting for money, I would just pay for Game Pass. Because the way I consume gaming, again, and you might not be like this, so it might not work out with you. I'll just tell you what I do. I would actually pay the $30 a month because I get more bang for my buck that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just pick up games on sale.
Yeah.
Because that's what most people look. Let's be 100, right? Let's be 100. Let's have this. Let's be 100% honest, dude, because that's what people do all the time. They were doing this before the economy went back, right? They were doing this before all of this stuff went down. That's just the way it is, man. Because number one, I say this all the time on my channel. Number one, it's the money and it's also the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's like even with Game Pass, there's games in there, dude, that you can play for years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's games that'll take you hours to build, to beat, and even weeks, right? But they also have games that you can beat in one night. Sega Man will attest to that when he does his
Yeah.
videos.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. Sega Man plays every single game. At least he tries to play every
Yep.
single Game Pass
Every
game.
last one.
Right. So you're not telling me and him because I'm the same way. That's how I consume my content. Right. So you're not telling us stuff that we don't know about the ecosystem. What it boils down to is how do you want to participate in the ecosystem? And again, to the title of this rant is what value do you put on it?
Yeah.
It's no different to what value. Like I'll be honest with you, man. Like McDonald's is over here was trying to charge me $20 for a combo meal, and I'm like, you guys are outside of your mind. Right. And I looked at McDonald's and I was like, dude, I am honestly offended that you think that your food is worth $20. I don't care about the economy. I don't care about tariffs. I don't care about supply chains. You're McDonald's.
Yep.
The fact that you had the utter gall to charge me $20 for a combo meal, no, I'm done. And I walk away. Right. And that's what I mean about what value do you have on that. For me, McDonald's at $20 is not a value.
Yep.
In fact, I'm so offended. I won't go back to McDonald's and buy a combo meal until that bad boy drops under $5. Which might not even happen. So I'm done with McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what value do you put on this kind of stuff? How are you going to utilize these services? Because at the end of the day, Game Pass is a service. This is why I always told you guys. I said this yesterday. I always told you guys don't look at Game Pass as the welfare pass. Don't look at your games as free. You're paying for it every month. Now people understand it because it's $30. Right. When it was only like $11.99 or $14.99, people was fine with it, and they would say that, oh, what free games we get every month? It's not free. You pay for it. That's why you shouldn't be. And the reason why I tell you that you should not feel guilty because people was trying to guilt you into taking part of Game Pass that these guys weren't getting paid or you're a welfare gamer, all this kind of crap. Dude, they can talk all the trash they want to because at the end of the day, dude, if you took that every month you pay for it, that adds up. Because people do that in real life with Netflix. People do that with Disney Plus. People do that with the telephone bill. Right? People do that with their utilities. Right? That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's what we're living in, man. And you should never feel guilty about that. Now that it's $30, right? I'm pretty sure all of you guys are fine with it. I mean, you guys won't feel guilty about because you're paying a premium price now, right?
Yep.
And you don't have to pay that premium price, dude. There's things you can do, like Sega Man talked about, right? You might have to do the work. I'm more in the E-Rock camp where I just let you guys sleep. I'll be honest with you, I just let you sleep, right?
Yeah.
Got the time and energy to be like, look, I have to do stuff with my kids, right? And my kids, I don't have to do this stuff with, so I'm not gonna do it with grown adults, right?
Yeah, man. And look, brother Sega Forever. I did it. I went out. I bought a couple of Ultimate Game Pass. I'm good till January 19th, 2026. So I have time to get more and like I'm saying, save up. If you can't afford to get, because the 3-month one's going to be up there. But if you can save up for those monthly ones, guys, it's easy. $10 a pay. Dude, I can have another 3 months added on to that in another month or two and still be ahead of the game. You got to use your head, guys. You know what I mean? And I do agree with Sega Forever, and Brother E-Rock tells me all the time, Sega, man, stop telling these dudes,
Yes.
There's a grown-ass men out here. Stop telling them. I can't help it. I mean, you guys should know this. You know what I mean? Maybe, our chat probably knows it, but you got these guys out here to act like that it doesn't exist. If you go out right now, I guarantee you one of these stores that are out here still have Ultimate Game Pass 1 month for $19.95. I guarantee you it. They're still there.
Yeah, they're not, because a lot of people have been debunking the whole thing, right? Because they've been sharing because when you say something like you can't get the passes anymore or my Xbox doesn't honor it, and then you guys are Game Pass and they find out that you're lying, they get pissed off. They're like, no, I just bought it. Yeah. I was at GameStop and they had it, or I was at GameStop and they have consoles, or I was at Walmart and I see the consoles on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? And I'm like, yeah, dude. I mean, don't listen to these people. Because 10 to 1, dude, they don't have an Xbox and they're never going to buy an Xbox, so they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? They're not even in the conversation. So why would you listen to these guys?
Brother, hey, guys, if you want to be a content creator, we'll talk about Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you'll have 2K subscribe. Go ahead. If you think about it's a bad thing to do, but if you want something to talk about and you want to be a content creator, like everybody uses Xbox to get their way into the door when it comes to like entertainment and shit like that. They're on the gravy train and they just go with what everybody does. And Xbox is dead. Game Pass is horrible. The pony bots are going crazy. Like they say stuff that's so untrue, guys. and they get all these subscribers like this. I mean, they just come just like that, man, because everybody wants to hate on Microsoft. Like Sega forever said, they love hating on Microsoft, not just Xbox. They've been hating on Microsoft since Windows.
Yeah.
So that's the way it is, man. You
The
know?
only problem I have with that Sega, man, is I'm waiting for Microsoft to realize that.
Yeah.
No, granted, it's one of those things where they have a lot of, they're on their upper level.
Yeah.
The rest of us were on that plebe level in this console war in the trenches, dude. They're like living on Mount Olympus. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's they're too high above to really pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, I think it would be great for their consumers if they address it a little bit more directly. Yeah. Again, like I said yesterday, Sega, man, I would love to have Peter Moore running shotgun on this bad boy. You know what I'm saying?
Brother Sega Favor, let me pause this for a minute. Let me pause his voice. There was a guy that said something on Xbox, and I'm trying to get to the guy's comment, but it's taking me to this guy's video. But he's trying to tell me, no, she did not say, like the Sarah Bond thing about another Xbox. This is what I'm talking about. Like I put on there, you guys don't listen. Sarah Bond said there's going to be another Xbox. It's going to be leaps and bounds more powerful than what we're gaming on right now. I can't kind of read it because if I try to click on his name, I'll get the guy's video. But he's trying to say, no, she didn't. She didn't. She said biggest something, but I can't read it because let me see if I can actually turn it down. Yeah, I could turn it down. He said, no, she didn't. She said, biggest technical leap, pay attention. So I guess he's saying I'm wrong by what I said.
So
all he said, this is what I said. Nothing's going, I said nothing. I said, Xbox is going nowhere. Sarah Bond, for the 100th time, said they're already working on a new console that's going to be leaps and bounds and more powerful than anything else out there. Pay attention. Then he wrote, he wrote, no, she didn't say, she said biggest technical leap. Pay attention.
Hold on. I think there were 2 videos that she did.
Yeah.
So I know she talked about the hardware and how powerful it's going to be, and it'll be leaps and bounds above it.
Right.
And I think she did the one when she talked about AMD. I'd have to look it up.
That's what I mean, because I'm pretty sure that's what she said, but he's trying to, this is what I mean. He's trying to damage control what I'm saying. I remember her saying that. I don't remember her saying biggest technical leap. You know?
All right, brother, let me mute. You go ahead. You keep on talking. Let me mute.
Okay, good. But yeah, guys, I don't remember her saying that. You know, I don't remember her saying that at all.
Let me play this video real quick, my brother. Let me play this video real quick.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the right one, but
Okay.
Let me do this. If it lets me. All right, I'm about to say it, man. It was just staring at me. Let me blow this up. All right, ready? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
At Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. That's why we're investing. All
right. God forgive me. She's fine, dude. I love her. Awesome. All right. Anyway. Okay. All right. Yeah. Screw using. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to
Wait, did I miss
co-engineer
that?
silicon
Hold on, let me
across
go
a
back. I'm so
portfolio
sorry,
of
man.
devices
I got distracted.
anywhere you want.
Okay.
That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
Yeah.
There's
So
a video, brother Sega Forever, where it's the video where they did their own little E3, and it's Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer and Matt Booty sitting together. And I think that's
Yeah.
the one where she said it'll be leaps and bounds. So I don't know where this Paul guy is getting his information, but I remember her saying that.
well, so I remember she's done it on a couple occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually on one of the showcases, or it might have been the one where they're going to talk about, when people like me were upset about the cross-platform stuff. I think it was that one. I have to go look it up.
Yeah.
But again, but even in this video, you can see what they're talking about. They have a game plan, they have a roadmap, and this is the roadmap. This is where they're going, and it incorporate. This is the thing that gets me about all these people, right? It's like this stuff that they're doing incorporates not just Microsoft's Xbox, but multiple companies across the spectrum that they have to do deals and actually work with, right? So they just can't drop the ball on this stuff. And if they did, dude, that would cost them a lot of money, right? So I don't think people understand like how this actually works, and they don't want to understand. And a lot of people don't do the deep dive of the research, or they're not fans like we are.
Yeah.
I consume this thing. I must have watched this video, I don't know, a bazillion times. That's how I'm able to kind of recall it to memory. But we watch the showcases. We keep up with all this kind of stuff. We get on Xbox when we want them to give us more information. When they do stuff we don't care for. And just give this as an example. I think they need to do their cloud needs to be better, because they haven't figured out the issue with their storage space, right? And it's not a deal breaker for me, guys. The problem I have with the storage space issue is because you have Game Pass, and not everybody wants to download every single game. If you guys want to be like Netflix, you just want to click and play, right? And that's the lowest common denominator for a lot of people that you want to participate in your Game Pass model. Guys like me, guys like Sega Man, who are hardcore, who will go through the process of actually doing that, right? You got us, right? You don't have to worry about us, but the general audience who you've been bending over backwards for and been trying to get, that's the people that you need to think about when it comes to stuff like this. And I see them doing it now. I just played what game did I play last night? Oh my gosh, dude, I'm so old. But I played a game last night and I didn't have to download. I played it on cloud and it was fine. I played it was the supermarket one. I just dropped into Game Pass, right? Because I like those sim type of games. I just wanted to check it out, dude, and I ended up playing like about 45 minutes on it. It was a pretty cool game, but I didn't have to download it. I played it on cloud, right? And so cloud is not on the level that I think it needs to be for me, as a person that if they want me to go all in on cloud, it's definitely not working for me. But they've gotten a lot better than where they were before, right? So, but just put that out there. But she's talked about this ad nauseum. If you guys didn't know, Sarah Bond is one of the big three when it comes to the Xbox division, right? And she's the one, doing all of this. This is what she does. This is why you have some of the stuff you have now with Xbox. She's built those bridges, man, and she's working with all these different companies, all these different teams, right? And this is why I don't sweat when Microsoft does have some bad news, right? Because things are in flux. And if you're on the Xbox team, dude, or if you bleed green and you don't realize what that means for Xbox to be in flux, then you gotta get up to speed, man, because it's gonna be a bad day for you every day. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy your experience at all, right? And then when something like this goes viral, what's happening now, dude? Then that's gonna suck away your joy, man. That's I don't know what else to tell you guys. I wouldn't pay any attention to it personally on that level. For me, it's about the lack of it's the hypocrisy at the end of the day. That's what drives me nuts about this. That's why I did the video. And then trying to add some context with how people value things, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because people will pay for those Jordans. Right? Right? I don't think I would never pay that much for it, but there's people out there that like that kind of stuff. There's people buying this stuff called the boo boo. Right? I have no idea what this stuff was. My daughter knew what it was, but she's not into it.
You said boo boo?
Yeah, the boo boo. It's these little, it's kind of like Cabbage Patch or how
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, not like Cabbage Patch, but it has when Cabbage Patch was popular, and then
Yeah.
also Beanie Babies was popular, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So this is the new thing, I guess. Anyway, we go to this store, bro. I live in Hawaii, so we have these stores called crack seed stores. They're old school, man. When I was growing up, man, we used to eat a lot of things. We used to eat crack seed, right? So I go over there to get my lemon peel, and it's basically like this. It's mostly it's a Chinese store, seed store, and then they sell like these snacks. So we go over there, and this lady was talking, like we were grabbing our stuff, and we're waiting in line because she was dealing with these customers, and she saw these boo boo dolls, and she had people there was there, man, and she had some rare like freaking couple $100 Labubu, and they were talking about it. And I was just standing there because I'm a collector myself. But then at some point, I was kind of looking at the lady. I was like, all right, I want to pay for my stuff and bounce. Let me pay for my stuff, and you guys can Labubu all day long, right? And I'm like, dude, I get it, dude. There's stuff that people like that have no problem dropping the money for, right? And again, that just boils down to what kind of value you put on something, dude. And if you like it, and if it's worth the money. And for me, when it comes to Game Pass, $29.99 is worth the money for me.
Yeah.
And that's where I land my plane. So, brother, you want to say anything else?
I think you're right, man. Listen, man. I think they're still making a good entry form for you to get into gaming, and they're the cheapest. It is Ultimate Game Pass, guys. It really is. And you never know. During Black Friday, there might even be a deal. There might even be a deal where they do something through the holidays, guys. Yes, the price did go up, but maybe they'll do some kind of a deal also during Black Friday or during the Christmas season. So I'm pretty sure there's some different stores and companies that are going to be having Ultimate Game Pass and stuff like that can do deals on that. So it's a win-win. Like I said, it's still better than anything else that's out there. There's nothing else out there that gives you the best value for your buck. It is Xbox. It's not PlayStation, and it's not Nintendo. I'm sorry. You can enjoy those consoles, and you can get some games cheap on their stores. I'm not saying you can't. You can. But when it comes to the best value for your buck for gaming, it's Ultimate Game Pass.
Yeah, they have stuff right now on sale.
Yeah.
The only disappointment I have is I own most of the stuff. I looked at some of the games, like, yeah, I clicked on them, like, oh yeah, that's right, I bought it.
Yeah, and they try to twist and mix everything. Well, I don't see why owning an Xbox. They don't have an identity anymore. They're like they always try to flip it. Oh, their games are coming to other systems. But guys, your games are coming to other systems. Your PlayStation games are coming to Xbox.
Yeah, great point. Great point.
These guys will never, brother Sega forever. These guys that do content out here, like Porter Rock and all those guys, they won't mention that. You will never hear them say that. Last of Us is coming to Xbox. It is. Last of Us is going to be coming to Xbox. We already got Death Stranding. I bought the game, okay? So don't tell me that us Xbox guys don't buy games. Now, a lot of my Xbox brothers didn't like it. They did buy it, but they don't like it, or some of them just didn't buy it. But I bought Death Stranding. It's very weird. It's a walking simulator type. It has really good graphics on the Series X. It's pretty cool, but it's very weird. It's a very weird sci-fi-ish type game, and I kind of like games like that. So I never finished it. I have to go back and play it. But I bought it, guys. I bought it for $20-something when they first announced it. I went out there and bought it. I supported. Was it Hiro Kojima? I bought it. There's a lot of Xbox dudes that went out there and bought that game. They went out and bought it. So don't say we don't buy games. I don't want to hear that crap. We do buy games. We buy more than I believe that. Well, I think we're up there of of gamers that buy and support their systems. Okay, we do buy games and we do support the developers, like for Gears and Forza, Halo, and all that, and Fable. We support our developers. We do. So you can't say that we do buy games. You guys play free to play games and you guys buy microtransactions. But you guys will never come out and say that because that's exactly what you guys do. You buy microtransactions, you play Fortnite, Roblox, NBA 2K, and Madden. That's basically what you play. And now you're mad. Now you don't really play Call of Duty anymore because we own it. So now you want to go to Battlefield. You know what I mean? Now it's Battlefield.
I think Unlimited did a great video where he busted these guys out about the 2 games.
Yeah.
The average gamer buys only 2
I got to
games.
watch that video, brother, Unlimited, man, because he'd be getting those guys spot on. And they can never rebuttal what he has to say because he doesn't do nothing but tell the truth. You guys are like black and white. You know, you guys are like black and white. We know you like the back of our hands, man. You guys are repetitive in everything that you guys do. You never say nothing positive ever about gaming, period. It's always about how bad Xbox is doing and that it's dead. You never say nothing positive about gaming. You ever notice these guys, Brother Sega Forever, they have a big channel, right? And they have gaming content, but they never even talk nothing positive about even their own game, which is PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
Thing like that. It's
they always got it. Yeah, they always got Xbox
in their mouth always, and it's always bad. Always. Hey, we like Yote. It's coming out. Like they don't talk about nothing positive. It's always negative, and it's always Xbox.
You know the sad thing about it, right? Because if they do stuff on Yote, it's kind of like and Unlimited talks about this, right? And he actually does it on his channel, right? He'll show, how he said he wants to share more gameplay.
Yeah.
And, but nobody really watches the gameplay. Now he's a gamer, so he doesn't care. But a lot of these guys, man, they know they can't do Ghost of Yote, right? If they even play it, right? Because Ghost of Yote ain't going to get views and clicks. The drama is what get all the views and clicks. But real quick, Daniel Berry, welcome, brother. I see you, brother. Thank you for being here.
Oh, that's cool. What's up, Daniel Berry? Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's what get the views and the clicks, man. Is all the drama, right? And this is why it's like people are like, "Oh, the console war is BS." I'm like, "Dude, console war is constant. It's never gone away. It's always there. That's the reality of it. Do I want it to go away? Sure. Will it go away? No, because you guys won't let stuff go. So it is what it is, right? But I think this is the video that we were talking about, Sigma. Let me hit.
I think it was this video. I could be wrong, but I think it was this video.
Let me go back a little bit on this. Let me hit play. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the role that hardware plays for creators, for the games and those communities. What about the role that hardware plays for us as a business, for Xbox?
When we look at our hardware, it really is, and Phil said this earlier, it's where you get like the most flagship seminal experience of Xbox. And it also represents a developer target. Our developers can build the specs of our hardware, and we invest to make sure they know when they do that the games are going to run great on our hardware, but they're also going to be able to be accessed across any screen because of all the other investments we make. So we're giving them an easy way to access as many players as possible. And we actually have more creators right now building for Xbox than ever before thousands of them by nature of those investments. And we got more to come. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. And we're also invested in the next generation roadmap. And what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
Ding, 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 ding. Bingo.
See?
There you go, brother. Yeah.
Wasn't that right?
Yep, 100%.
So this guy that comes out here on my Facebook, oh, she didn't say that. She did say it, dummy. You go back, and I told him, I actually wrote him back, and I said, she said it on one of the showcases, Paul. Mm-hmm. Okay, Paul, are you going to be all right, Paul? Go check.
You know what you do? You should meme him. You should meme him, bro. Like, that you sit on a throne of lions.
Yeah.
Or you sit on a throne of lies from Elf. I always use that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you should do that. You should send that to him. Anyway, sorry.
If he did his homework now, if he sees my message and he goes and he finds it, he ain't gonna come back and say anything. He's not. If he does, I'll be shocked because I know she said that. He's trying to tell me she didn't say it. And I said she said it in one of the showcases. So if he looks for a showcase that she was in, he's going to see that she said it. So, dude, don't come out here saying that I'm wrong when you didn't do your homework. I'm a true Xbox gamer out here, and I watch everything they do, and I do remember her saying that. And me and Sega Forever, it's right here in the pudding, like he said.
Yeah, and this was exactly for the this is when they had to address the cross-platform stuff. That's where it is.
Yeah.
And this is cool because they did do it on the official Xbox podcast.
So it was on. Was it which one was that, Brother Sega? Was that the E3 thing or what was it?
It was when the I forgot what had happened, but they were talking about games going over, and then they had to do this podcast. This is why it pays to have your own official podcast.
Yeah.
And I like the lady who runs it, Tina Amini. I think that's her name. But she came over from IGN, but she's always been good. I always liked her.
Yeah.
And there's this other girl I like that's over there. I wish they would get her too for Xbox because they're pretty good and they're fair. So I mean, they have critiques, but they also have praise when it's worthy. So
yeah.
But no.
Yeah,
so,
but you know what, man? Enough of trying to, I don't have to honestly explain myself. This is a guy that probably didn't, like I said, look, he didn't do his homework. He didn't even know. He just comes out and just tells me that she didn't say that.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. There's so many frauds out here in gaming, like Sega Forever said, and Hebot says over and over again. But when you try to show them that you'll get no response. Like Brother Sega Forever said, I can send this to this guy through Facebook probably right now. He's not going to say nothing. He's not going to write nothing back, and he's not going to say nothing because he wants to be right, and he's wrong. It's just he's wrong. These guys are PlayStation fanboys, and that's why he did that. I know that's why he did it. You know what I mean? I know that's why he did that. You know how you could trigger them? When you go to something on Facebook and it'll say something like it'll be, you know what's really a shame? These guys make Xbox pages, and they're all PlayStation fanboys.
Yeah. They just talk about Xbox all day, every day. Yeah.
It'll say, "Hey, what is your favorite Xbox game?" Or it'll say, "Hey, what do you think is better, Gears of War on Xbox or God of War on PlayStation?" And then when you get them, see, I always get them. I say, "Yeah, Gears of War 5 is way better than any God of War game," and I'll get all these hits minutes later. Minutes later, them being ass hurt because I said that. I say, "Hey guys, it's just my opinion. I mean, isn't this an Xbox page?"
Yeah, I would go old school.
Yeah,
I would go old school and just say, "Yo, mama."
Yeah.
No, but I get it because there's times that I joined Xbox groups, and the Xbox groups will be like, "No, we don't want no console warring in here."
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm out, dude. If you guys are gonna be wusses about it, if you guys are gonna be bend the knee, I'm out of here, bro. Because I know they don't want to deal with the drama.
yeah,
Right. But then I question some of these dudes as well. I'm like, all right, dude, you guys are probably multi-console people, or your friends are ponies, right? I mean, you should take the Xbox off your name if I'm being honest. Just say gaming group, some gamers unite or some crap like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because you're not an Xbox group. Because if you bleed green, bro, you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. I ain't saying that's cool, but that's just the way it is, man. You can't let these guys just all over you.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it affects your bottom line too, man, because you're the consumer as well as the fan. So
yeah, just like when you give your time and energy to this, you know what I mean? They're still in denial. These guys will be in denial until they want Xbox to just go away so bad. If Xbox was not to be here anymore, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think gaming's gonna last long at all. I'm just being honest. I really don't believe it. PlayStation will start going after Nintendo, and I don't think they can even do nothing to Nintendo, to be honest with you. Nintendo's fans are like, I mean, they will buy anything that they put out. I mean, anything. I mean, some of these PlayStation fans, yes, they will, but I think Nintendo fans are more hardcore, way more. I think, like, mostly anything they put out, like they bought that cardboard gimmick shit. Anything that they put out, they buy it, man. You know what I mean?
If I'm being honest, dude, I wish Xbox guys were a little bit like that with our brand.
Yeah.
Right? Because the reason it doesn't bother them is they're in their own little world and nothing really penetrates it. And so they, and something should be said for that. I wish Xbox guys were even half of that. We're just a fraction of that. If it was there, I think our community would be a lot stronger. right?
Yeah.
Especially since we get a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can see the hypocrisy in what comes out over there. Like for instance, Brother Sega Forever, they don't even talk about Gears of War Reloaded. They don't even talk about Forza Horizon 5. That game has made PlayStation stay alive. It's our games that outshine their games that made them still making them relevant. Ghost of Yote ain't even doing well, dude.
Well, I think they're getting a reality check, right? Because the percentage of people that like schemes like Ghost of Yote,
Yeah.
and then you have the casual that are strolling there when they get enough buzz, but the majority of the people would play a game like Forza Horizon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's more it's readily more accessible, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do on there. You remember virtual tennis?
Yes, I love it.
Sega, yeah, and
Love
then they
it.
did virtual tennis and virtual tennis 2.
Love that game.
And so that's a tennis game that most people that like tennis games will play, but that broke barriers because they had the mini games in there,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The actual game itself was fun. It was a good line between sim and arcade, so you
Yep.
get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And then 2 took it to another level. So that's kind of what you get with Forza. Forza's parts, it's not really sim, but it can be enough sim for you to enjoy it. But at the same time, it's just so much fun. So. And there's a bunch of casuals and then PlayStation is full of a bunch of casuals, man. Ponies are just like maybe a percentage of their fan base, but the rest are all casuals.
Yep, they are. They are, man. A lot of those. I mean, that virtual tennis, man. I actually still play that on my Dream. I'm actually having my Dreamcast hooked up. That game is phenomenal. That was a phenomenal game back then. Especially with that and NFL 2K. NFL 2K blew people's socks off with the Dreamcast. It is the best looking football game at that time. There was nothing that could beat that when it came to visuals, with visual concepts. That was one of the best games ever, dude.
And its gameplay was pretty solid too. It was more on the arcadey side, that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
But it was still like it had a good combination, and then they did NBA 2K, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And dunks.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. It's just like Tecmo on steroids. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
took what we enjoyed about double dribble.
Yep.
And then they elevated it to modern times. So
you got to see that power of your Dreamcast, that 128 bits of power, and people still love the Dreamcast. They're still making homebrew games for it. I have a couple of shoot 'em up games that are homebrew that are made for it. That's pretty cool. And people are actually still making games for those systems. Even the Saturn, every once in a while they'll make one. I try to get one for the Saturn, but as far as the Dreamcast, man, they're still making homebrew games for it because it's a thought after system, man. Yeah. I love the Dreamcast. I'm like Sega forever. I always will be OG Sega, man. One of my most favorite games when I was a kid that blew me away in the arcade was the original Altered Beast. That blew my mind. The graphics, the detail in the characters of the graveyard and stuff like that. The arcade was the best. You can get the best on consoles now, but when you would go in the arcade and put that quarter in that altered beast game, it just blew my mind. I loved that game. It was phenomenal. You know what I mean? It just blew my mind. And then when you get it on your little Sega Genesis, it's nothing like the arcade, but hey, you could keep playing it over and over, and you don't have to spend your quarters. I mean, it was awesome back then, brother.
Oh yeah, Sega man, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta go. But
okay, yeah, sure. Man. Are you taking the kids somewhere?
Well, I gotta I gotta make dinner.
All right, cool. I'm like you. I'm gonna be having. Well, it's probably what time you're earlier where you're at, right? I'm 5 p.m. here right now.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I want to prep the food because we try and eat early. Me and my daughter.
Yeah.
We try to eat around 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we do is that's part of our diet thing, right? We eat one meal a day. It's usually at 4 o'clock, and then we have fruit. We can do fruit and some snacks and stuff like that as long as it's healthy. And then don't eat kind of fast for a little bit, and then just trying to get her healthy, trying to get me back on, because I have to do that too because of all the stuff I'm going through. Not as bad as he bought, but I got my own stuff too. We're not spring chickens anymore, brother.
Hey man, we're getting I'm getting up there, man. He just texted me telling me thank you for the birthday wishes. He's having a little bit of a hard time, man. He's hurting. He has some back pains, and there's just things that he bought still doing. He's getting his kids to drive, but there's just a lot going on for him right now. God bless him, man. Honestly, God bless the guy. I mean, he does a lot for his family. That is a real family man. I mean, he bought his dedicated. He's a good dad. He's a very good dad. I know his kids sometimes. I know they give him a hard time sometimes, but he's a very, very good dad. You remember, I broke bread with him, so I was at his place, me and my wife and kids. So he's a good guy, guys. If you want to know, I seen him in the flesh. I was at his house and my family. He's a really good guy. He really is.
Good man.
Yeah. Well, brother, I guess you better get going, man. And
but shout yourself out, Sigmund.
all right, guys. It's always a great time to be on the Wrecking Crew podcast with my brother Sega Forever, or even if brother Sega Forever just does a hangout. And if he sees me on, if I can make it, I do come in because I always support my brother Sega Forever, man. Me and he bought Sega Forever. I've known these guys for so long now.
Yeah.
We're all like brothers, man. And it's great when all three of us can get in Unlimited and everybody. But it's always good to talk about gaming and stuff with brother Sega Forever when we can, guys. So, support the channel, man. He does great content, man. Like I said before, like I said on my podcast, he's a true Xbox dude. He don't own nothing else, man.
Yeah, that's all I have.
It's all he has. So if he's telling you that, he's telling you the truth, man. So if you want to know anything, honestly, about Xbox, to be honest with you, just Xbox, to be honest opinion, Sega Forever, man. I mean, he's die hard, brother. He's a Sega dude for life. But when it comes to Xbox, man, that's what we are, brother. Because they remind us of Sega. The Xbox OG is actually the Dreamcast 2. That's what it really is. I mean, people say, that's crazy, Sega, man. No, it's not. Dude, it's actually the Dreamcast 2. If you play the Sega games on there, you feel Dreamcast, I'm telling you. Through that OG Xbox. I'm telling you, man. Panzer Dragon, all those games. Gun Valkyrie. You can feel that, man. Look, there's brother Hebot in the chat, brother. See him?
Yeah, sorry, Hebot, bro. I gotta bounce. We're wrapping up right now.
But yeah, man. Shouts out to you guys. Thank you for supporting me and brother Sega Forever. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't think I would even still be making content. I love the chat. You guys are a great bunch of true gamers out here, and we do thank you for supporting us, man. Thank you, brother Sega Forever, for letting me come on, man. If you ever do anything, brother, you can always send me a link, and if I can, I'll make it, man. This is Sega Man 101 out, 101, and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right, brother. I just in closing, man. Just sorry, Hebot. Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, happy birthday, brother. Sorry, I'm a little bit late with the birthday wishes. But I hope you're having a good one, man. Mr. Kima, thanks for being here. Daniel Berry, Kenneth Williams, Ray Chi, man. Ray Chi was we had the full suite. But Mr. Kima, yeah, thank you guys for being here. Sega Man, thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Faded Blaze, Mike Johnson was in here. Appreciate it, guys. And Big B Money King 23. What's up, brother, man? Always appreciate when you stop in, man. And Faded Blaze as well, dude. And again, just at the end of the day, man, we'll go through this, man. Right? Hopefully these guys get exposed, but at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna be playing my games, right? Because we got a lot of stuff dropping soon. In fact, I gotta catch up with some of the stuff I have in my backlog. If I'm being honest, man, I still have not beat Solid Midnight. Watched my daughter; she beat it. It was pretty cool. But I have to go through and finish the game myself, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's an awesome game, dude. Don't believe the hate. And again, you shouldn't. You should play the games yourself. At the end of the day, that's what gamers do. But all right, Xbox Online channel, host Sega Forever. We out.